Kuna time.
Yeah.
Especially ka Instagram, the model is instant gratification, you know. That's why ukipost kitu unafiligi kushinda ukirudi kuona ni nani ame like. You know, it's not by chance. Ni science imecreatiwa na kupea hiyo dopamine kick. So people want to look good. People don't want to work hard to achieve their goals. They want to look as if they're achieving their goals. It's a short.
Yeah. I knew this is where I wanted us to pick it up from. Hiyo ndio stuff in our Aziad. Ni hizi likes, hizi numbers, they're getting in your head. They're getting in your head. You feel like you have an audience to perform for. When the audience that you should care most about is you. Ni wewe, this person here. Wewe, si wasi wengine. Watu wajali kukuhusu venye unafikiria. Before tuangalie hii video ya Tipsy G, okay, this small interview that was conducted by SPMBuzz. Nimeona SPMBuzz walifanya some other several interviews with other maybe celebs, other artists. I think this is in the week of Oktoberfest. I think this is in the preparation of Oktoberfest launch, okay? So kuna interview pia ya NDOVU, and I think kuna kitu kuna kitu poa nimesikia akiongea kuhusu, which I wanna piggyback on. Alafu tuingie hapo kwa Tipsy G. Let's go somewhere around here. Acha tuendelee hapa. This is where
of social media. So unajua social media,
I think hapa naongelea how social media has ruined people generally, and especially watu wana get into the limelight, which is something that we'll talk about over and over here. Inamaliza wase, imemaliza wase, zinapanda haraka zinashuka haraka na hiyo rate.
Kuna time.
Yeah.
Especially ka Instagram, the model is instant gratification, you know. That's why ukipost kitu unafiligi kushinda ukirudi kuona ni nani ame like. You know, it's not by chance. Ni science imecreatiwa na kupea hiyo dopamine kick. So people want to look good. People don't want to work hard to achieve their goals. They want to look as if they're achieving their goals. It's a short.
Yeah. I knew this is where I wanted us to pick it up from. Social media, the effect of social media on people generally, and then especially people who are in the limelight, okay? Social media has been very well programmed to give you instant gratification. Na si social media, it's the advancement in tech, kila kitu, TikTok, blah blah blah. To create very soft human beings. Okay, we've created very soft human beings. Ukijipata, there is a reason why you post on IG and then you always want to go back. Now that drag ndio imemess watu IG, and now I feel more bad for madem. Actually, kunaka kapeng. This is very off topic. But I gotta use this as an example. This is very off topic, by the way, but I'll use this as an example, okay? Kwa page ya furthermore, okay? Si mnaonanga hawa madancers. Si tumeonanga for a long time. Okay. So this is just a random example that nataka kutumia an example ndio mwelewe where we're heading with this thing. As soon as you post this, the reason why people do, by the hatukwangi as complex as we think. We usually repeat what makes us feel good. Kama nilipost video fulani na niko na wase walipenda hii stuff design fulani, it's very natural for me to go back and replicate on this success. So what I see here, naona dema amevaa kitu yenye ili entice fans before. She knows very well akivaa trouser, akivaa kitu very formal, it won't get as much clicks, likes, views, engagement as when she does this, okay? Hii formula ya dancing iliibiwa kwa nani? Tile Park bro. Kila mtu akaspam, okay? But that is a story for another day. But let me show you the example I wanted to use, okay? Nikadem tu kapeng tu nilikama across kwa hii page ya furthermore, okay? Haka kapeng. I think nyinyi ndio mnawajua.
Canvas Records.
It has to load HD. Same was up guys. Same was up guys. Nimeona vitu for a long time. I'm seeing very many patterns and I refuse to ignore them. Guys, mimi siwaambi vitu out of ignorance. I can tell you right now for sure. Right now for sure. I've made my bones a long time ago. And I'm not an individual that pontificates. Yani me, I'm certified. Sitaji kujiprove. Nimejituma kujituma. Okay? I'm not an individual that pontificates.
I'm not an individual that pontificates. I'm not an individual that panders. I don't look for favors. I do not need any. I made my bones long
Bro,
time.
I've made my bones a long time ago. So just bank on my information. Just bank on my knowledge so far. Okay?
I met these individuals at their behest and request.
Me?
Me?
Rewarded?
Rewarded? What are they talking about? Listen.
That's just yeah to niku sidetrack. But let me tell you my point. Same thing goes back to dressing. Kuna reason who dem anapost vida akipost kama ni real kama ni dance. Kuna reason anapost akuwa amevaa venye amevaa. Okay, we usually replicate on what has worked. So this will come back to NDOVU's point, but I want to be as practical as possible for your eyes and for your ears. Okay, hatutakata, she's some fine shit. She's some fine shit. She's some painting. She's some fine shit. But what goes back? It goes back to social media. It goes back to instant gratification. Hii stuff ilianza way before. Hiyo dress umeona amevaa hapo, hiyo ndio kitu amevaa hapa. That's the same thing that gave her results previously. Okay? This is a pinned post. Guys, this is a pinned post. I'm just using this as an example. I have nothing towards this lady. I'm just saying this is what I've observed. Okay. There is a reason hizi vitu zikuwa replicated. And I know someone who we can fault these to. Okay? As much as hatuwezi pointi kitu tu mtu moja, kuna mtu ali exacerbate the situation. She was a very huge catalyst. And the person that could speak best about this, it's just that he was deplatformed. That was Kibe. Kibe ndiye ange speak the best about this shit. Aziad ndiye alimes wasichana, alimes programming ya watu. Alionesha, this is the way that you get to the top. Alionesha madem, by the way, Aziad alionesha madem, hauhitaji kusoma, hauhitaji kufanya hizo vitu zote, hauhitaji kuwork hard. Bro, you already got it in you. Mwili yako inapaswa kujitetea. Okay, so I'm just using this as an example. Instant gratification, what happens to IG. This is an example of many human beings, many women, vitu tu zinatuhapenia na social media. This is why you get instant gratification. Unakanga unasema, it's just 100 people who watched my video. But you forget, let me show you my point. Alafu turudi hapo kwa NDOVU. You forget 100 people, 100 views. These are 100 people. Just look at my screen. Ukiletewa haase mbele yako uone yani mstari utashanga. What? All these people cared about my shit. Okay, unasema okay 100 people wasi wengi. Okay, it got 1,000 views. Bro, do you know 1,000 people ukionyeshwa venye wanakaa? Bra. You'll be shocked. 2,500 people engaged on your shit. You forget those are 2,500 human beings. Anyway, narudi kwa NDOVU, but his point was that social media inatupea instant gratification such that sasa hamtaki kufanya vitu ngumu. Kama kitu inatakingi 5 years ku accomplish, people want to get the quickest route. People want to do it in 5 months, forgetting that what goes up fast goes down as faster. Mshajionea na with personalities, you see with quick businesses, all those staingia kwa hizo vitu, but let's pick up from here. Pole nimedigress. I just needed to show you this. Na inarudi back to wasanii celebs, just ordinary people. Mnafikiria mnataka hizi vitu za social media. Guys, that's why I stay away from social media. That's why you'll see little to no movement on my social media. Not because I'm any better than the average person, but just because nime understand that that's not real life. People show you the best versions of their lives on social media when hawata kuonesha their lowest point, hawata kuonesha their troubles, their difficulty. People are more afraid of being embarrassed. People are afraid of kujituma, kuonekana like you don't know, kuonekana ni kama haujui kitu, when in fact you are just a learner like any other person. But tusikia hapa Kenya NDOVU amesema
social media uko na time especially ka Instagram, the model is instant gratification, you know. That's why ukipost kitu.
And guys, it doesn't just apply to to Instagram, it apply even to YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, nini. Unajipata as soon as maybe you're a creator, umepost. After umepost, it also happens to me, guys. I'm not infallible. I'm also a human being. Pia mimi nataka kurudi kuangalia analytics ya video na nimepost 30 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago, instead of just letting it grow na kuendelea. It just happens to everybody. I was just showing you an example. By the way, sitaki mwangalia huo dem nimeangalia as an example mseme I was just pointing fingers. It's just I wanted to make it as practical as possible because I observe patterns a lot. Na nimewambia hizi vitu mingi, especially kwa madem. I feel bad because madem bedhe nimepoint sana kwa madem, and it's because women naturally have had that biological advantage of a man. A woman, a girl is born with value. A man is born with zero value. You have to build your value over time. That's why madem wako at their peak at around 23, 25. That's why a man, they find their peak at 30, 35 onwards huko. But a man at 18 is useless to the society compared to a woman at 18. Anyway, that's not a story for today. Pole, I had to circle back.
Na feeling kushinda ukirudi especially ka Instagram, the model is instant gratification, you know. That's why ukipost kitu una feeling kushinda ukirudi kuona ni nani ame like, you know. It's not by chance, ni science imecreate na kupea hiyo dopamine kick. So people want to look good. People don't want to work hard to achieve their goals. They want to look as if they're achieving their goals. It's a shortcut. So why should I work for my, kama mimi nimeambiwa nafaa nikate weight, bora nisiende gym ni work on my weight na naweza kupostiwa nikiwa nimesweat. It's a shortcut. So it's making people take shortcuts. And life ni journey, bro. Life ni journey. To make it ni time that kuchukua 10 years. But unaweza enda upige picha hapa nje na gari kali, ushow wase na watu wakupende, u live up to your lie. So kila mtu anaishi live up to kitu haiko. No.
Okay. But the most extreme cases of this, simnajua ni nani? Simnajua hakuna mtu ameivisha hii kuliko boys. The most extreme case of this ni Kenyan Prince. And these are just examples of other human beings. NDOVU kwa amekwambia mse hataki bro, success, any form of wealth, any form of like something that really works and sticks, it takes time, can take up to 10 years. Now shida, na uzuri ni after umesuffer for those 2, 3, 5, 10 years, bro, the rest of your life una enjoy. But nini, that's why mna fall for easy stories za kina watu wa forex. It's very easy to take a photo on top of the car. Acha nikwambie, mbona kama mse kama huyu ajaini sumbua. Guys, as a guy, you know when you see a made man. That's what I usually, actually that's what I'm thinking right now. As a guy, as a man, okay, you know when you see a made man. You know when you see mtu, someone who's crafted themselves, someone who has worked on themselves, okay? Mimi nikiangalia boys kama huyu naona, bro, this guy doesn't work out. this guy doesn't run, this guy isn't into self development. Unaona huu ni mshamba tu akona access ya do kiplani. Haujui ni aje but ni mshamba. Let me tell you, someone who is wealthy tries to not look wealthy. Msi akona do ajaribungi kukani kama akona do. Na hiyo ndio stuff inatuua sisi middle class. Middle class wanataka kuonekana ni kama akona do. Na ndio maana nyumba zetu zote zinafanana. Middle class Nairobi and other environs within around the nini, but I just want to take this to Nairobi. Ndio maana nyumba zetu zote zinafanana. Kila mtu akona either hiyo kuka ama air fryer. Kila mtu akona hiyo console iko hapo sitting room, hiyo console ya TV. Kila mtu like hata sitting room zote zinakaa the same by the way. Unaona kama hii video hiyo video nimeonyesha hiyo anati like let me show you kidogo. I know I'm digressing a lot but I have lots of points. I have a lot in my head. I just want to give you as it is. Unaona kama hii living room hapa nimeonyesha kwa hiyo video anati, okay? This is 80% of all Nairobi apartments. Zinakaa the same. Hii console ya TV hapa, hii couch, kwanza L couch. That's why easy places za furniture thrive. Bro, that's why easy places za furniture thrive because selling to middle class is very easy. Kila mtu kwanza hii meza, hii stool inakaa, hizi stool zinaingiana pamoja. Aesthetics is all but the same. Anyway, sitaki kurudia. Kila mtu anaweka hiyo carpet ya balcony, hizo stuff za balcony za hizo fake plants like everything is the same. Now back to my point with Kenyan Prince kama his example. We all want, kila mse anataka kukaa ni kama amemake it. It's very easy to take a photo in front of a car than to go work hard for a car. Okay? Let me tell you, hata nyinyi mnajua mse amefanya kazi akanunua BMW kama hii bro. The last thing he wants is to bring attention to himself. The last thing he wants is to be seen by strangers that he's the owner of this, because what does it make? It makes him a target. Who ni mse workout? This is someone who can't empower you with knowledge. This is someone who you can tell he doesn't read books. He doesn't seek new information. He doesn't, bro. You know when you see a made man. Kenyan Prince ase na wale wase wengine hata nawasahau. But as NDOVU just said, it's very easy to take a photo in front of a car than to work hard for one. Hii ni rahisi. India social media, but the real work is when nobody's watching. The real work is when nobody's watching. When nobody's watching, that's the real work. Nikisema, you know a made man when you see them. In example, nachukua example just because this is what I can just think on top of my head, okay? Who ni footballer. You can see a made man when you see them, okay? There are people who wanajituma, they are working out, they are doing all sorts of things. You can see a made man. Uyu, you can see the difference between, okay, someone like this, okay. You can see a difference between made man and akafukusui, okay. Kenyan Prince. Anyway, sitaki kurudi hapo, but tumalizie hapa tu hiyo interview ya NDOVU.
But realness ni nilikuwa na wakia hii project come through after 5 years.
Yes, amesema realness nimekuwa nikiwako ni project eventually come through after 5 years. Type shit.
We live up to your lie. So kila mtu anaishi akilive up to kitu haiko. Naona. But realness ni nilikuwa na wakia hii project come through after 5 years. That's how life is.
That's how life is.
Kujenga brand pia. Hata usanii ngoma ikirich, umetoa ngoma umetoka kwa hit song, urudi kwa ngoma nyingine ipate hata 200,000 views ama 50,000 views. It doesn't mean that umeanguka kama msanii. No, there's algorithms, there's marketing involved. There's many factors, but it's easier to destroy, especially if you're holding on to an image of yourself that you're trying to live up to. But if you are real to now, yourself and your fans, I don't think most of hizo pressures utakuwa nazo.
Okay, amesema una try to live up to expectations of the exterior world. As you guys know what's been happening recently. Si mnajua Aziad madeni zake, hata sitaki kuingiza story but you guys know everything. Mnajua kila kitu. Si mnaona sasa Aziad ana fight vitu za madeni. Nizo vitu zimekuwa zikihappen for the longest time. Hata last year story ya madeni, this year watu wakimcall out juu ya madeni nini, that was already happening. And that's why nimewambia initially Andrew Kibe would be the best person to talk about this, but he's not on the platform.
On this journey for a very long time, I've been able to create this family for
Okay. A real brand takes time. A real authentic brand takes time. Vitu zako zikihappen haraka ziushuka na hiyo speed. Anyway, sometimes kuna kwanga na exceptions. That's why I say sometimes I stop praying to the God of Jacob, the God of Abraham. Na sahi natafutanga Mungu wa Elsa. Bele kama unataka kuomoka faster na ikae, okay, kama ungetaka kuomoka fast na ikae no maintain, tafuta Mungu, one of these two gods. Tafuta Mungu wa Elsa Majimbo, ama utafute Mungu wa nani? Mungu wa Njerai. The difference between these two gods is that Mungu wa Njerai hutokea October, November. I'll explain this. Just go look at our analytics. Usually whenever the year inafika November, October, that's when milango za Njerai you open, you multiply. But uzuri wa Mungu wa Njerai ni Mungu take time. Mungu wa Njerai ni Mungu si overnight. It's not a microwave God. Mungu wa Njerai ni Mungu amekuwa na wewe for a long time. Njerai si mse amehit out of nowhere. Njerai took ni wala say you can tell bros they've been doing music since they were a kid. The breakthrough that came through, bro, it was nothing but your force. It was always going to budge. That dam was always going to break at some point. Mungu wa Elsa naye atakufungulia mlango uomoke hadi ushangae. Bro, tunaona Elsa ako na picha na Beyonce. Elsa ana chill na the people in Hollywood. Fuck.
Because msanii ni binadamu.
And that's what NDOVU is saying, man. Msanii is a normal human being. Anasema msanii unaweza make hit song maybe ipate 2 million views, ipate that traction, and then you make your following song, it gets 30,000-40,000 views, and you think you're a failure, but in essence you're not. In essence you're not a failure, bro. But that's not what we see.
Kama wewe ana figure out Kenya ataenda kula, watoi wake watakula nini. As much as unapenda huku nje, should be, don't let the fame thing get sana in your mind. But
fame nasumbua sana. Wewe ulihandle aje fame? Aje sasa hiyo ilikuwa ni overbooked.
Yes, fame honestly, fame is not as good as it looks. I value my private life, by the way. I value my private life. Na value life naweza kuishi outside of, actually within myself, and I'm not trying to live within anyone else's expectations. Okay, man, fame waribu wasanii. Si mnaona toxic mali yako sahi? It's just that si ati yako place mbaya, it's just that from where he's at, okay, but they si ati toxic ako ile place ati yo kiburi ni mob nini. It's just that kind of fame na that kind of popularity, it's a very double-edged sword. So when your high is very high like this, when things stabilize and come like to a normal point, okay, kwa toxic atafeel ni kama amefail. Okay, time vitu ziko hapa, ya atafeel ni kama ziko huku chini, hata off the screen, just because things peaked way too high. Wow, crazy. Tumani.
Mashow calls zinaingia, unaweka post TV likes kibao, stories zinauza.
I mean, ni kuelewa, this is ni gift. Ni kuelewa, for mimi ni kuelewa sio mimi. It's a God given gift. Sangine napataga nataka kuwa na kiburi, naanza kubeef na wasanii wengine. Kuna kama mimi unajua. Hizo pia mimi nimepitia. Although I'm not. Kuna times of feeling like in studio, hakuna kama mimi unajua. But in collaboration is where you realize, msanii amenifunza kitu fulani, producer amenifunza kitu fulani. You know, nilikaa na Kidu akanieleza kuhusu even personal financing. Because you don't know it all starting. Just because you're famous, you don't know it all. Unataka kuwa you are very famous artist with very bad financial handling. You need msana kwambia pia mimi nimefungua business nimepoteza, handle pesa yako hivi.
Okay.
You can be a very famous person but poor in holding relationships.
That's true.
You need somebody atakuadvise. So kuwa you open minded. Wewe jua lane yako. Mimi nimegitiwa na muziki, hiyo ni kitu najua. But si ati najua kila kitu.
That's true.
Exactly. Sijui healthy living, ni advice. Nitafanya nini, ndondokea nini? Exactly, you understand? It's all about toka kwa akili yako.
Wow.
Kila mtu ni gifted. We are all...
Wow, NDOVU. Wow, amesema toka kwa akili yako. I keep saying a lot of times wasanii they live too much in their heads, okay? Nasemanga so very many times wasanii they live inside their heads too much. That's why nasema toka kwa akili yako. Touch grass. Rudi kwa environment, be in touch with nature, be in touch with earth. Is it superficial that social media, all the validation that you get instantly, they are not the end goal, brother. They are not the end goal. Vitu ziushuka. That's why NDOVU, when this guy when the interviewer asked him this question initially, NDOVU alimwambia, bro, uko na time? Because this is going to be a long lecture, and it has, boy, didn't that age well.
All bodies.
Please listen to this part.
Healthy living, ni advice. Nitafanya nini, ndondokea nini? Exactly, you understand? It's all about toka kwa akili yako.
Toka.
Kila mtu ni gifted. We are all bodies in one part that work together to bring this beautiful thing we call life.
But tell me your strength then as an artist. Wewe unapata ganji, una invest mbio pale, ma land buying, ma savings, ama unaweka kwa equipment. Ama ni luku na...
Yeah, man. Honestly, that's a very major part nilikuwa nataka tuangalie. That's a very, very major part I wanted us to look at. Mziki si rahisi, na social media has messed up the whole dynamics of everything. Now you have an inflated sense of self. Unafikiria kila mtu, everybody cares about you so much. And bruh, once something happens to your life, guys, watu wako na mashida mingi sana in their own lives to care about yours. You care about other people's opinion. You constantly, kwanza IG, man, I feel bad for anybody who has to appear on social media to put up a face, to put up a facade, to follow up on the image that they set. Hiyo ndio stuff inawa Aziad. Ni hizi likes, hizi numbers, they are getting in your head. You feel like you have an audience to perform for. When the audience that you should care most about is you. Ni wewe, this person here. Wewe, si wasi wengine. Watu wajali kukuhusu venye unafikiria. But mkiambiwa mnasema ni hater. Mkiambiwa mnasema mnasema ni hater, hana form. But anyway, kama historia kubambi,
Onda uoge, wache mchezo.
enda tu.
Onda uoge, wache mchezo.